Have you ever noticed that the more that you use AI, the more that you realize that you get a mixture of really awesome results and some not so awesome results? Or maybe sometimes you find an amazing prompt, but then it gets lost in your chat history and you have nowhere to put it, or you've tried different tools here and there to find something consistent. Today, we're going to be solving that problem once and for all. By creating, I'm going to invite you to build with me a prompt database using Notion so that you'll be able to get consistent results with AI each time, and you're able to collect and easily retrieve some of the best prompts that you've been able to do. This is a system that I've used to run our six-figure family business, and the AI automations and tools and repurposings, it really has a lot of, it centers around this prompt database. So whether you get it from your favorite AI trainer, or you create it yourself, or wherever you find great prompts, I'm going to help you to save all of those in one place. I found this to be an extremely helpful tool, so I'm going to build one with you from scratch. And by the way, if you would like to be able to skip the build and just get access to mine already built for you, then you could actually join the school community that I'm a part of. And anyone who joins this school community using my affiliate link, I will be more than happy to give you an access where you could download my prompt database as a free bonus, only for those who sign up through my affiliate link. So if you'd like access to what we're going to show you, then you could do that. So how this works is basically you have a place where you can keep track of all the prompts that you have. This is categorized by my transcripts, and in my transcripts I can turn from transcripts into just about anything. I've got 36 different prompts that I use frequently, and it's growing, and I really appreciate these. So I'm going to show you how you could walk through this, and later on I actually can record a video of how I've been able to automate this just by simply changing the workflow status that is on here. This workflow status, I can actually generate live things from my transcript here to being able to create a thread post, or being able to, all within Notion, being able to create like a distribution email from to promote my videos. Once you record a video, now you want to send it to your list. Well, this prompt will actually write the emails for you so that it could lead them to be able to click your video. You copy paste with really minimal editing into your email list, and it's not just AI slop, it's actually good quality stuff. So what we do is we tweak everything here. The main thing that we generally edit is the rules, and based on the rules, we use that to run all of our automations, and it's awesome. And yes, when I actually change this status here, it will send through an innate automation to an AI model, and then it will put the output right here under AI output column. So I'm going to show you how to build the bare bones through this. In fact, I have a video on my YouTube channel. That's how I saved over $300 a month on Notion AI by using innate. So you could see how I set that up. But now we're going to actually build this database to keep track of it here. So what you want to do is you want to open up a brand new page, and let's call this Chat AI Database. Or no, let's call this AI Prompt Database, and we're going to give that a nice name. Then what we're going to do is we're going to click on database here, and I'll highlight my mouse so you can see it. So we're going to click on database, and I'm just going to select empty database. They do have templates you can use, it makes it easy. And I'm going to also select new empty source here so that we're able to access that. I'll probably zoom in a little bit, and it wants me to name this again, so I'll call it AI Prompt Database, and that's okay. So the first one, we're going to change this. We're going to make this to be called title. This is the title of the prompt, and one of the first views that we're going to create is actually going to be a notes. And once we have notes, it's going to be a text property. And the text property is called notes. So let me capitalize that. And what this is really good for is if you have any notes that you are reading that you like from your post, this is where you can create a prompt on here. And let's just say I'm going to have a prompt database engineer. That's the first one. I think one of the most powerful that you could use is actually, I created an AI. This is essentially each row kind of becomes an AI agent. It's like custom instructions that you could use to create your own custom GPTs, and they do one thing really, really well. So if you're creating a custom GPT on Pickaxe, or you're using it on OpenAI or wherever you want, then this is a awesome way to do it. So another place is we're going to create this next one, which is simply a checkbox. We're going to select the checkbox. I don't actually want to name it because I really just want to change the icon. And I could do that right here by clicking this icon, and I'm going to look for a little heart. This is going to indicate that this is one of my favorites, and that is done. And I'm going to make this as small as the icon can be by dragging those little arrows. I'm going to move those all the way to the front. So now I can check. My first one is my favorite one, and this will allow us to sort them so that our favorites are on top. So that makes it very convenient. So let's say we have something that's like transcript to promo email, like I showed you before. Let's say that's not my favorite, but this one is. We'll put that always on top. So that makes it convenient, and we could sort it by clicking on this sort icon, the two arrows going up and down. We're going to sort by this little guy, this heart, and is descending. So save for everybody, and that way it's locked in stone. So there we have that. This is what our first prompt database is. Now, when I resize this, as you could see, it cut off the words. I actually want to maintain the words. So in order to do that, I'm going to hit wrap in view. Wrapping this in view will allow it to, as you can see, put the whole text on the bottom. So if I unwrap it in view, then it crops it out when these are too long. So that's convenient depending on the use case, but for the title, I generally want to always see it. So I'm going to wrap in view that. Then the next prompt that we're going to be doing is we're going to go through and create a we can create a role. Role is very powerful, so we could type it role and choose a select. It's going to be a text property, text type. And what this does is it allows us to say what kind of role it is. So an example is, for instance, I'm going to copy this role from my previous database. It says you are an expert prompt engineer who specializes in creating AI prompts that an LLM would best understand, designed to accomplish specific output requests from the user. Now, it's good. It's always interesting to see when you put into AI, when you give it a role, saying like you are a Van Gogh style Renaissance painter versus the same prompt, solving the same problem, but like you are a civil engineer and I want you to solve this problem. But the role that you give it, you'll see how it really filters the problem solving through the lens of that role. It's very interesting test for you to do on AI one of these days, and you could see how the role does make a difference. So it's always a good idea to say some sort of role that you are, and if you want good quality results. So what we do is the whole premise, the foundation of this prompt database for me has really been, I want to take some of the best practices of prompt engineering, the ability to create a prompt that makes good results. I want to structure them, systemize them so that it's consistently being performed every single time. And I want to do it in a way that like automatically walks me through the process. So having a column, having a property on Notion for each one of these really has allowed me to be able to go through step by step. Like for instance, the next thing that's really important to have in a perfect prompt is a task. So we're going to give it a specific task that you want it to do. So for example, whoa, that's definitely not, I don't think that's what I want. No, that is not what I want. Oh, it's a video. Somehow, that's something I need to update. Well, at any rate, we could say create a, and I always like to start this with a verb, and I'll show you why in a moment, because we're going to create a formula that collects all of these and brings them all together automatically for you. But I'll show you that in a moment, and I'll give it to you copy paste. So create a prompt optimized for LLMs to turn the user request into the specific sections I give you. There you go. That's pretty much what the task is. And the next thing what we want to do is we want to create a output format. So another thing that will make your prompt so much better is if you actually tell it what type of format you want it to be in. So for this, we can say that you could say something like LLM optimize AI prompts. And for this, I think like the format that you use most is going to change depending on what you request. Sometimes you only want one sentence or two max, and that can be useful. Other times you want something that's like one paragraph is what success looks like. You always want to tell the AI model what format are you looking for. Maybe sometimes you're looking for a numbered list. If you're looking for a list of like AI, see, I didn't say numbered list, so I'm going to click on these three dots right here, and I want to fix this to say ED. There you go. Now it's a numbered list. And click out to save it. And so maybe you want a list of hooks. Other times you actually want a bulleted list. So by giving the model the output that you are asking for, this will drastically improve the quality of the results. Sometimes it's simply an email, or other times it's a specific language of code that you want it to use, like JSON, HTML, or Python or something. I'm not really much of a coder, but that's what we have. In this case, we want an LLM, large language model, optimize AI prompts. So that's good. And for me, I like these to be capitalized, so I'm going to go through that and make sure it's capitalized. So now we have different types of formats. That's pretty much fits the description of all the different format prompts that I have used on my database, and they've been good. So this is what I will call an output formula. And the output formula it kind of repeats in large on what we just created. This is going to be a text property. But here you can see an example of what we're looking for. And I'm going to paste this here. So I want it to give a title name of the agent. So that's the first property. Basically, what this one is going to do is it's going to create all of the formats or sections that we're requesting, which is cool. So by putting these brackets, you're actually telling the model, I want you to replace everything in the brackets. So that's really convenient here. We want a task description, task definition. We want a bulleted list of AI rules, which we're going to create next. Output format we just created. Output formula, and then some examples. So boom, this is really convenient and helpful. So I'm going to move on. And I will say that this formula is one of like the best ways to get very specific outcomes there. So we're going to create another one where this is going to be a text property that I'm going to call rules and AI instructions. And part of the reason why is I'm going to select text is because when giving prompts to AI, it's very good to be very specific and detailed in what you're going to tell it to do. So I usually have these rules to model whatever section I have on the formula. I just define it. So I think of whatever the output is as essentially chunking like these different sections. So the role, I'm going to have some instructions on the role. So here this says, for each request I give you, I want you to fill in the following properties with high quality, clearly written content based on the best practices of prompt engineering. So again, it's acting as a prompt engineer. The structure you must follow. It's not suggestions, they are requirements. Title, the specific content components, example, teaching points, tweet hook, email, call to action, and it tells me, I have given it some context. So define how the output should be structured, the formula, provide a pattern or template to follow when generating outputs, and then I have verb desired outcomes, so that was an example. And I asked for custom instructions, which I don't know if I really need that. I'm actually going to delete that. It doesn't need to be there. So this is just some other instructions. So if you're not happy with the results, usually the two things that I change is the rules and the output formula. Those are the two that I tweak until it's perfect the way that I would like it to be. And the next thing we're going to create is custom instructions. This is really helpful because if you want to add like a transcript, or if you want to add anything that's not systemized, meaning like every one of these prompts that we've just created, they don't, all of these properties we created, they do not change, and they won't change. They're going to be the same for every time that you want this outcome to happen. They're going to use the exact same things here, but there are use case specific. So for instance here, let's say every time I generate it, this is where I'm going to give the specific instructions of what I want. I will ramble my vision, my desire, my goal, my interests. I will just express everything that I want in here of what I want the AI agent to build, and then it's going to use this. It's going to follow all these instructions that do not change, and only this changes, and then the output will give me some really awesome response. So the next thing I will do is create another select property. We're going to call this workflow status, and this one is really only necessary if you are going to automate this prompt database with a tool like Zapier, Make, or N8N. So I do have this on an automation. So this is what I do. So you could say generate text to text raw, and I will say if you spell it exactly the way I do, and when you get access to my templates, less of them will break. So this is helpful. And then, I mean, honestly, you can do a lot of different formats, but this is what's going to control your automation to be able to go. And I have one to trigger, which is this, and then I have in progress, which shows that it's working, and I'm just going to turn that green. And then we have done, and that's showing that the workflow is complete. So that is helpful, which you got there. Now on mine, as you can see, I've got, let's click out of that. What I've got on here is, on the workflow status, I've got text to text raw, which removes all the markdown, or that actually leaves a markdown. It's raw. Like if I'm using code, then I'm going to use this one. I have a text-to-text, no markdown, that removes all the markdown, so it's just plain text. It's easy to view, so there's not a bunch of like asterisks and stars and like weird stuff. It's just words, plain English. So that's what I use there, and I use that usually most of everything. I've been playing with a way to have this create a Google Doc for me that's all structured and formatted, which is awesome. With whatever the results, put it in a Google Doc. So I set that up. That's fun. Sometimes I want to text to image, other times I want image to image, but I will just let you develop that as you go and as you start using things. But for me, for as far as this video, we're just going to keep it simple and just leave it. What you really need is to do, doing, done. That's it. So workflow status is good to go. And then the next one that we're going to create is we're going to create AI outputs. And this is where, of course, as it sounds, this is where the workflow, the automation, is going to send this. When this is done, it's going to put the text right here. And this is what will be loaded up, which is really convenient. So you could see this is how we were able to create it, and we'll look at another one. This is a property that I created. Sometimes it's really helpful, other times it's not too helpful, so I leave it blank, and it's okay to do that. So we're going to have output example 1. One thing I learned is that when doing prompt engineering, you not only want to tell the LLM what kind of format you want it to be in, the output format, but you also want to give it output examples. You want to actually give it an example of what the final result looks like. So tell it what's the expected outcome. And that's what this example is. And there's something that's called like 1-drop or 5-drop, and a lot of times when they're testing these AI models, whether it's Gemini or ChatGPT, or whether it's like Anthropic, whatever it is, when they're doing these benchmarks, I heard someone was saying that they test it with 5 different expected outcomes. That's standard for getting much better quality results, more examples of what the final outcome is, because AI is great at recognizing patterns. And it's harder to recognize a pattern without an output example. So if you show what the final result is going to look like 5 times, whether it's a title, whether it's a hook, or whether you are sending a text prompt image, you give it some examples and they're saying, oh, I can do that. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to put these 5 examples right here. So one way, because it all has the same name, we just changed the letter, we're going to click up there and then duplicate property. Scroll down to duplicate property. Then I'm going to change this to say 2. I'm going to scroll down to duplicate the property. And I'm going to do this 5 more times. And each one of these are going to improve the quality of the prompt that you use. And we've got one more. I don't always use it. You can leave them blank, and that's totally fine. There's no problem with that. I find this especially works great if it's like 1 or 2 line or a paragraph result. If it's an entire document, then of the outcome that you're wanting, then it starts to confuse the model. So I don't really put documents. These are great for short examples. But that's what we have as far as this example. Now for the part that makes this really powerful is we're going to create a formula property that's able to bring all of these together. This is what I call the AI prompt generator. And this AI prompt generator makes it so easy. We're going to scroll down and look for formula. There it is. And I'm going to get rid of that S at the end, because again, if you don't have it exactly spelt the way I do, then if you ever use automations from me, then they won't you're going to have to fix it, which isn't a problem. You can name it whatever you want. It's Notion. And you're an adult. You're grown. You can do whatever you want. There's just going to be some consequences. And if you're okay with it and can fix it, then no problem. So what we have is we're going to edit this formula here. And as we edit this formula, I'm going to give you the exact formula that I use. This was actually the first formula I ever made. I used ChatGPT to help me to figure out how to do it. And I think part of the problem here is because I skipped one. So let's add a new property. It's going to be a text, and we're going to call this the definition. Yes, we're going to call this definition. Definition. And now when we edit this, I believe that error, yes, the error went away. So now what this basically does, if I could show you, seems like, oh, I think I have to zoom out in order to show you. There we go. Now you could see what this is doing for us is basically saying the role, and then it says your task is to, and then it takes this property. What this does is these are properties, and they're actually inputting the exact properties here. So these are actually line breaks, and then it's saying that you are a prompt engineer, specializes in yada yada yada. Your task is to, and then it defines what the definition is, and then your task is to follow these rules, and then this is where you give all the rules. This is the output format, the formula, and that's where it brings these things together. And then here's output example outputs, 1, 2, 3. And then how it ends, which is really convenient, is these custom instructions are provided for you to consider when performing this task. Now, I'm going to give you an implementation guide that you could access this. You can take a screenshot now, use Copyfish extension to be able to like drag and drop and grab stuff if you want, which can be helpful. And Copyfish is a free extension that you could like copy anything on a YouTube video, and that's cool. But I will give this to you in the implementation worksheet, implementation guide. There'll be a link in the comments, the first comment, the pinned comment, and in the description, and you'll be able to get this prompt. But I mean this formula. But that's what we're going to use, and then we're going to click out of this, and there it goes. It's already working. So again, I'm going to wrap this in the view, and you can see what it has. You are a prompt engineer who specializes in creating AI prompts. That's the same stuff that we just wrote. It says useful context. That's this definition, I believe. Yep, there it is. And as you can see, what you type here will show up on the formula automatically. Isn't that cool? I like it. So if you leave something blank, it'll just be blank, and it doesn't really throw off the prompt that much. So your task is also to follow these rules, and then it has your rules and AI instructions that we gave it. The output format, LLM, optimized prompt, output formula, then it has the formula there, and then it says these custom instructions are provided for you to consider when performing your task. And then this is where you're saying something like, I want an AI agent that will help me come up with YouTube tutorial ideas for a YouTube channel about making AI tutorials so simple your grandma can follow, especially for business owners and content creators. There we go. So that's what I actually wanted it to do. And let's see, right here. This is going to, as you can see, for this AI prompt generator, the formula does not include the custom instructions there. So this is useful for when you are actually using when you're using your automation on N8N, then you can get the custom instructions from some other database or a different location. So you can actually insert an innate in underneath that, whatever context you want. So that's helpful. That allows you to reuse it. But if you want it to be all ready to copy and paste, I'm going to unwrap this view. If you want it to be ready to copy and paste, then I'm going to give you another formula that you could use, and this one is going to give you the custom formula. This is called a AI prompt plus custom instructions. There we go, instructions. Cool. So with this one, this is actually going to include the custom instructions. So we're going to create this formula, and again, I will give this to you in a link in the description so you could use it. But until then, we will paste it right here. And you see the major difference is it actually shows you the custom instructions here. It's going to include that. So when I click out of this, it's saved, and if I'm going to wrap this in the view, and I'll wrap this in the view, I'm going to move this together. You can see at the very bottom here is the custom instructions we could use. So it already has that. And if we were to just take what we have right now, this is pretty cool what this will do for us. Now, I would use the custom instructions if I'm gonna wrap this so it takes up less space. All you got to do is hit this little copy button, copy to clipboard right here, and this is what you're going to use when you go into chatgpt.com, for example. So if you're not using automation and you just want to like copy and paste your database prompts, then this is where you would paste it, and it's already in my clipboard, so I have this whole thing, and look at that, that's nice. So if I just hit submit, it should be able to generate for me something useful. And this will actually write out all of your titles. Yeah, so it's called YouTube tutorial idea. And what we would do, let me open this. I'm going to snap this here, snap that. There we go. I'm going to put them side by side. And I will switch me so I don't take up so much space. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a new page, and we're just going to paste this stuff. YouTube tutorial idea maker, I'll say that, right? And then I'll say, here's the role. And we're going to paste the role here. And your task is going to paste it there. And then generate what's going on here? Let's see. Oh, there we go. Oh, I see. So this is actually, oh, that's a template for creating these. But if we scroll down, this is actually the final output, fully written. So let's start over. Sometimes we gotta read it a bit more. I'm gonna replace this and clean this up a bit. And as you can see, the task is right here. I mean, it's never been so much easier. And we've got the definition. We could put this in that order. So I'm gonna click this definition and drag it. We can go whee all the way over to, oh, still got some roll. Right after the roll. I like it after the roll. And it lines up exactly. You see how what we just built, you can now use it. So it's never been easier, where it actually gives you exactly what to put for each one. And then for the rules, often you're going to want to tweak them. You're going to adjust them a little bit. And the output formula, it's suggesting a numbered list. So good thing we already have that, so it makes it easy. And then the formula is this right here. And I'll probably just go like this, and like this, and like this, etc. And then, wow. And then the output example is just like so, which, output example, you move here. And like I mentioned, when it's small and short as an output, then these work pretty well. So I actually like these. Build a simple funnel with Canva AI, that's nice. And as you could see, we've got those type of ideas. And if you want to tweak an example, you absolutely can. For the sake of the video, I'm going a little faster, but the major way that you would be troubleshooting it is just like that. So, I mean, this is so fun. So now we actually have a whole nother AI agent, which this could actually be a whole pickaxe that you monetize. And if you haven't seen my video about how I make and monetize custom GPTs that have been able to make me over $30,000 within the first 2 months of creating the platform, subscribe to my YouTube channel and check it out, because this is also a video that will show you how you could monetize. I've got a video that will show you how you can make and monetize, turn this prompt database or just this page into a monetizable tool that you can get paid for within 10 minutes. So that is that's a video you might want to check out. But as usual, if we grab this, we could already copy and paste into ChatGPT, and you've already got a full-fledged automation tool. I mean, we got a full-fledged like AI agent right there. And then it's looking like, yes, right here, this is the final output ideas. Turn your messy notes into YouTube script with ChatGPT, which I do have that tool, so that could be a video. Let me know if you want me to record a video on that. And here, I could zoom in over here. So you can automate your client onboarding with ChatGPT. I wouldn't use Google Forms, but probably Notion Forms. Build a Notion AI dashboard that plans your week for you in 10 minutes. Make reels from blog posts using AI, or make reels from long videos or YouTube videos using AI. And so it's coming up with ideas. That's exactly what I wanted it to do right here. So you can see how powerful it can be to give you results that are consistent. Now in this video, what I've showed you today is I showed you exactly how you can access your own prompt database to build it out. These are the tools that I use and my team uses to run our 6-figure business. And if you would like, I've actually put together a community right here that I put together an offer, and if you'd like to get help with this, if you've got questions about Notion, automation, prompting, AI foundations, this is an awesome school community that when you join through my affiliate link, then I'm willing to give you access to my prompt database that I use. That's the only way you can access this template. But in this community, there's a regular question answer sessions, workshops, there's masterminds, networking opportunities with other AI enthusiasts. Because one thing that I've learned is that learning AI is so much better as a group, and it's a lot harder by yourself. So I joined this community, these are my mentors, and you get access. I'm very active in there too. They'll help you with all the tech support, setup for any workflows or automations you're stuck with. You can absolutely do this. It's only $97 a month. I bought the annual plan, and you get to save like 20%. It's worth every penny, to be honest. But when you sign up here using my affiliate link, I'll give you a link in the description where you can access this and join the AI Foundations. Then I'll give you my actual database. So you can build it yourself. This video shows you how, or you could use mine already built for you. I'd be happy to help and see you thrive along this journey. So in this YouTube channel, what I do is my goal is to create AI tutorials so simple that a grandma could follow them, and on this Notion Build With Me video. I hope that this was helpful. You learned some things about Notion, how to set it up, but I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Subscribe so you can get more videos just like this. But until next time, have a great day and God bless.